How is your process different? How is your process different in preparing to direct versus preparing for a role?
Well, with acting, all you have to do is look after yourself and make sure you do your one job, versus directing, you're sort of looking after everything. Everything is your responsibility in some way or another. And so I pay attention to every different aspect of filmmaking when directing versus, when I'm preparing for acting. It's just such a sweet gig. It's just so much easier.
So you're an actor and a director, and so what do you wish actors understood about directors, and what do you wish directors understood about actors when they're trying to direct them?
Well, definitely actors be very, very nice to your directors, because they are under a lot of pressure and they have to think about a lot more than just you. And a lot of actors can be quite self-centered, and so definitely maybe take it back a notch and try not to be a jerk. And I think actors to directors, okay, I guess just like, don't be surprised when they're amazing, because it's really offensive. Like, it's just like, why the hell am I here? If you didn't know I could do this thing, like, why'd you hire me? Like, did you watch my audition, bro? Like, so I just got that so many times from my directors, where they were just like, oh, I didn't know you could do that. And I'm just like, what do you mean you didn't know I could do that? And then I found myself saying that exact, or almost saying that exact thing the first time I was directing. I was just like, oh, I didn't know you were going to do that. It's so amazing. But I meant it in the best way, but sometimes it comes out wrong. So maybe figure out a better way to phrase it.
How important is the relationship between director and DP, and what's your process when selecting a director of photography?
Well, a lot of that has to do with the producers that you hire. It's not always entirely your call. Luckily, I've worked with the two DPs that I've worked with, I absolutely adore. And you really just have to understand and have a language between the two of you about the style. You have to be able, at a moment's notice, to be like, this is the thing that we talked about. This is the, I don't know, the lens baby with but it's not the dream sequence, it's the trance sequence, you know what I mean, and then they know exactly how you want them to light it, and or their gaffer to light it. But it's an extremely, extremely important relationship, and if you don't get along, I don't think that you will have a feature film.
So you wrote and performed a brilliantly spoken word piece called "The Stages of Grieving in Quarantine."
Wow, you did your homework, bro. That's incredible. Okay, you listened to that, did you? Wow. Okay.
I did. It was for Right Club Atlanta at a time when you experienced some tragedy. I'm sorry for your losses. How did that project come about, and is there catharsis in that sort of writing?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that was something. So Right Club, I don't know if you're familiar, but all over the United States, there's these groups called Right Club, and it's sort of like Fight Club, but it's with writers, and usually it's live on stage, where 3 sets of writers are given opposing topics and given 10 days to write 7 minutes on your topic. And it can be whatever you want it to be. And my word was inside. So I had 10 days to write a 7-minute piece based around the word inside. And inside had a lot to do for me with like the observation of the self while grieving, being inside. It was right at I guess we're about a month into COVID. So I was stuck inside a lot. There was a lot of things to draw from with that particular topic and a specific time of my life. And so the reverse, the other guy, I believe his was outside. So basically you compete with one another by applause, and whoever gets the loudest applause wins. And then whatever money they've made that evening, they donate to your charity of choice. So that's what Right Club is. And so that was, but it was COVID, so we couldn't meet in person, so we did it online, and that was the first time they did it online. And honestly, I don't think they did it since. So most of the time they're not, I don't think they're even recorded. But yeah, that was a very emotional piece for me. And it was also just really intimidating, because the people that perform at Right Club are professional writers, and I'm not. And they're also just like hyper intellectuals and a little bit snobby, some of them, and not all of them. And so I was just like really intimidated, but I had always wanted to do one. And so yeah, I was grateful to have that opportunity, and I'm glad you watched it. Thank you for checking it out.
So teenagers today are dealing with bullies, COVID isolation, and active shooter drills. Do you believe horror movies can provide catharsis for them?
Well, I sincerely hope so. I hope it doesn't inspire anybody. It's an interesting thing that you bring that up, because I was just having an argument with my friend yesterday about this. And so I turned down a role that was a terrorist role. She was a demon, but she did terrorist acts. And so I was reading this feature, and there were just too many horrible good ideas in there of how to murder people in public situations and things like that, So I think that there's there's a fine line of what you should be willing to do artistically. I don't know. It's an interesting topic. And yeah, I don't think art should be limited. I don't think horror films should be limited. I think people should have freedom of speech and be able to create what they want. But there's also a responsibility not to have a hand in it as well. You don't want to inspire anyone, or give somebody a really good, awful idea. So there's that. Like Scream, like there was like a copycat murder in real life after Scream came out. And I couldn't help but wonder how awful that must have made the filmmakers feel when they found that out, that somebody actually had been murdered because of inspiration of the art that they'd created. I think I would just quit acting altogether if that was the case. So it's just, yeah. But in many ways, if somebody can watch a movie or read a script or read a book about something that they've went through, and they see that people can come out the other end all right, then that, yeah, I could see that being very good for somebody's psyche.
So boredom was a large part of the COVID lockdown. You passed the time in some unusual ways, like dressing up bottles of condiments into fierce warriors and trying to discover which plants smell like Dr. Pepper. What was the craziest thing you did to combat boredom during lockdown?
I made okay, I don't know if you've seen South Park, the member berries. They're like, member? Hey, I remember too. Anyway, I was obsessed with member berries, and I made, I had these little tea strainers that were like circles, and they hold the tea in like this, and you do know this type of tea strainers? Have you seen them?
I do know. Yeah, I've seen them before.
They look like little puppets. Anyway, I made member berry puppets out of these tea strainers, and I would do little puppet shows like entirely by myself. Like I was so bored, and I thought this was the most hilarious thing. Oh my gosh, I was losing my mind. I actually sent it to some of my more eccentric puppeteer friends, and they're like, Hannah, you've lost your mind. You're gone. But that was fun. I still have it. I even made a dingleberry puppet. Yeah, it was far out. Oh, I can't believe you really dug up some stuff on me, man. That's crazy.
Do you have a special recipe for spicy boiled peanuts?
I do. I use Szechuan red peppers.
Ah, I see.
Yeah.
So would you rather be a porpoise or the president of the United States?
Porpoise, 100%.
Do you
What about
prefer?
you? What about you? Would you rather be a porpoise or the president?
I think porpoise.
Yeah, they have more fun.
I don't exactly like that kind of power. I know
Yeah,
it's
they
not
do.
much power, but it is still power, and I can tend to get power trips.
I won't vote for you then.
Do you prefer film or digital?
Digital. It's way less stress.
Do you prefer watching a movie at home or in the theater?
In the theater. I really like the drive-in too. I think that's fun. I like to watch really dumb movies at the drive-in.
Do you prefer slow zombies or fast zombies?
Oh, slow.
Do you have a favorite romantic comedy?
Princess Bride.
So I heard you're an avid reader. This last question is a Sophie's choice. One lives and two dies. The Chronicles of Narnia, Harry Potter, or Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Which one lives?
Oh, bro, this is brutal. Oh. I guess Hitchhiker's lives. You made me murder my babies.
So thank you for sitting down with me. Is there anything you want to say before we finish? And what do you have coming up? And where can the audience find you?
I can be found on Facebook, Instagram, and sometimes I tweet. And I have a website, hannahfierman.com, and I try to keep that updated. I've got a movie called Terror Trips. It's about to come out. It's a big horror movie that is specifically for horror fans. So I think horror fans are really going to like that movie. And let me think, what else do I have coming out? Well, eventually Dark Circles will come out, which is the feature that I just got through directing. And like I said, in May, Dead by Midnight 2 Y2 Kill is going to be out. And my segment is the first segment called Hell Evangelist, and I hope you enjoy that. And I don't know. I can't remember what else. I can't think right now. But yeah. Thank you so much for having me on your podcast. And I mean, you got the Dark Circles poster. Did I sign that for you?
No, we found it.
Oh, you guys are so
it.
amazing. Like, I don't even have one of those. Oh, I'm so impressed with your research. Well, anyway, well, thanks for having me. And yeah, it's lovely to see you guys again. Well, you again.
Thank you for being here. I was really excited to interview you. It was fun.
Yeah, cool. I'm looking forward to seeing more of your interviews.
Hi, I'm Dax, and this is What's Under the Bed. Please make sure you subscribe to the channel, and ring that bell to know when a new episode drops. If there's someone you think I should interview, please let me know in the comments.